You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you
Hi
let
there,
that spark
and
out.
thanks for dropping by.
You've been hiding in the
I'm Shaun
shadows way
Charity, and
too
with this
long.
video, I'm fulfilling a dream I've had for over 20 years. I've got a treasure trove of knowledge and wisdom accumulated over 60 plus years, ready and waiting to be unlocked. That's over 60 years worth of lessons learned from hundreds of teachers and some incredible mentors. But what's the purpose of knowledge if you don't share it with others? So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be sharing practical ideas that you can implement today to begin to make this your best year ever. And this isn't about selling to you, it's about showing you how you can set your potential free, as I've done for literally thousands of people throughout my career, people of all ages, from all backgrounds and all walks of life. I've worked for some pretty impressive organizations, but now I've retired from corporate life. I'm no longer worried about sales targets or business pitches and budgets. And I can focus on the element of my work that I've always derived most enjoyment from. That's helping others to succeed and being part of their success. What's in it for me? Well, as Zig Ziglar said, you can have everything you want in life if you just help enough people get what they want in life. Today, I'm as passionate and committed to making a difference in people's lives as I ever was. I've got my big picture vision all laid out. It's a vision that's so vivid that it inspires me every day. But this isn't about my aspirations. It's about unlocking yours. It's about making the impossible possible for you. Everyone wants something different from life. Everyone is at a different stage in their life, their family, career, their relationship. So here's what I intend to do. My brand's mission, if you like, I aim to share the message of why anyone can have anything they want from life, and importantly, how they can make it happen. It's a big claim, but one I'm willing to stake my reputation on. The reason I'm so confident to do that is because the concepts, exercises, tools, and the actual steps that you need to take, all of which I'll be sharing, have been endorsed and used by millions of successful people, quite literally for centuries. Incredible achievers in life, including acclaimed scientists, renowned philosophers, TV acting and film legends, rock and pop superstars, global business titans, political visionaries, world champions, sports stars from every field, media personalities, renowned philosophers, and probably all of the greatest motivational speakers the world has known. Like the incredible Earl Nightingale, who's been my own personal inspiration for the last 20 years, most notably via his 30-minute record, The Stranger's Secret. As he says in that recording, one of the greatest discoveries of our time on Earth is that we can change our life by changing the way we think. Right there is the summation of everything that I'm going to share with you throughout my program. That's it. That's all there is to making this your greatest year ever. But of course, knowing something completely different to understanding it, and a world away from knowing how to put it into practice in your life in order to get the results that you want so much. Where you are in your life right now is the result of decisions and choices you've made in your past. But whatever your circumstances today, your job, your business, your career, your relationship, your finances, your health, they really don't matter. Your future is far more important than anything that's happened in the past. And your future hasn't been written yet. It's a blank canvas awaiting your masterpiece, driven by your mindset, your strength of character, your determination, your unyielding passion for your vision of your future. I'm not here to rehash old philosophies. I'm here to offer you a toolkit for immediate change. So let's assume that you want to change something in your life, but aren't sure exactly where to start. Why would you? Life's greatest lessons aren't found in textbooks or taught in schools. They're lived through life's experiences. You may not even be aware that you need to change anything. After all, it's easy to be comfortable with where you are, but that comfort zone can be a dangerous place. Growth can only come when you move out of that comfort zone. But how and in which direction? And what steps might you need to take? Well, let's start with some real life advice. As a father and grandfather, I know that when you're teaching a baby to walk, the baby needs encouragement every step of the way, practical support to shepherd its every faltering step and hold its hand, a guide to walk alongside it on this exciting new adventure. And when we're embarking on a new path as adults, we too may need a guide or a map to show us the way. Because talking of exciting new adventures, that's exactly what this episode in your life can be. A joyous, exhilarating new experience where you can discover new delights, embrace new challenges, and perhaps find what you've been missing all these years because you simply didn't know where to look. So here's step one. Deciding what you really want from life. Developing a vision for how you would really like your life to look. This bit isn't about setting small goals. This is about the ultimate vision, imagining the life you really dream about. Because here's the thing, you can't go back and change the start. Yesterday's gone. You're where you are right now because of decisions you've made in the past. But this is your starting point. You can start from here and change what your future will be. Here's your first exercise, and bear in mind it's been said by Einstein, amongst others, that imagination is far more important than knowledge. Have a think. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Who would you be? Close your eyes for 30 seconds if it helps. What would your life look like? Where would you be living? Who would be around you? What would you be doing tomorrow? For a moment, forget what you've had in the past or what you have now. The past is merely a lesson from which we can learn. Let your magnificent mind soar like it was intended to do. Feels good, doesn't it? An important point to grasp is that before anything else, you have to understand where you are. You have to accept and recognize what's brought you here. What have you done, dreamed of, thought about, wished for, hoped for, worked for that has brought you to here? Your business or career, your family, your home, the holidays you take, the car you drive, all those things are a result of the choices you've made and the decisions you've taken in your life so far. Once you accept and understand where you are, then you have to decide where you're going in the future. Contemplate this. Where did you see yourself 10 years ago? Did you achieve everything you wanted? Hopefully you did. But if you didn't, what stopped you getting those things? Now, where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? What's stopping you making all that happen? I'm here to tell you nothing can stop you making it happen. If you know the steps to take, he said with a nod and a wink. So, where are you going? Where do you want to be? What does success look like to you? What does it stand for in your book? Let's take a moment to put some values on it, because success can obviously mean different things to different people. That chap I mentioned earlier, Earl Nightingale, sums it up beautifully with possibly the best definition of success I've ever heard. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. I used to sign my emails, yours in health, wealth, and happiness. To me, the combination of those three words was the embodiment of success. Then as I grew older, different things held different values for me, and I added wisdom to the original paradigm of what mattered to me. 20, even 30 years ago, I assumed everyone held the same values. But of course, I was way off target with that thinking. So what might define success? Lifestyle's certainly a driver for many, if not most people. Yet then again, I know many people to whom spirituality is everything, to be at one with nature and the divine as they perceive it. To others, it doesn't matter how much money you have or how healthy you are if you don't have a partner to share it with. Love is all around us, but it can often be elusive when trying to find that special someone. Some people may be enjoying enormous success in their career, making fortunes, climbing the ranks, yet feel completely unfulfilled, as if there was no real purpose to what they were doing. And those segments are in turn driven by other key principles, which include the setting and achievement of goals in your life, big ones, little ones, and all those in between. The acknowledgement that you know where you're heading and a fundamental understanding of the laws of the universe. Not hocus pocus or magical nonsense, but laws based on science, quantum physics more precisely, but more of that later. Mindset is critical, nay, fundamental in the achievement of anything in life. A positive mental attitude's a must, an attitude of gratitude, as the phrase goes, grateful for everything you have, and importantly, what you will have in the future. Because if you want it enough, as I'll explain shortly, it is already yours. So you need to have a mindset of expectation, and last but not least, belief. Belief that you will receive all that you want and ask for. Belief above all in yourself. And when all those elements converge, when you have them all in abundance or whatever combination you require, then you have your own definition of success. So now you know what success means to you personally. Let's move on to step 1, part 2. Mark Twain famously once said, 2 of the most important days in your life are the day you were born, pretty special for you and your mum, right? And the day you find out why. Wow, heavy stuff, but that's right. We all have a unique purpose to fulfill. So how do we go about finding out what that purpose is? Because presumably, once we know what we should be doing, then we can get on with the job of fulfilling our destiny. And now think about this. Add real meaning to our life, which can only ever lead to idyllic fulfillment. You may call it your destiny, your purpose, your calling, your vocation. So let's take some baby steps towards finding your purpose. Let's start with some questions. If you've got a pen to hand, jot down the first thing that comes to mind as we go through them. Don't worry, you have plenty of time. You don't even have to share them, and you can always refine them at a later date. Okay, ready? When were you, or do you, feel at your happiest? Jot some of them down and add to the list afterwards. I've got a page of what I call secret shifters written down in front of me in my office. Times that were special to me, occasions that instantly bring a smile to my face, just thinking about them. And by thinking about any one of them in an instant, I can change my mood or mindset. Remember that term? For instance, hosting a conference at The Hague in front of an audience of thousands from 22 different countries, or scoring a try on my debut for my rugby club's first 15, having my own 10-gram gold bars refined bearing my own company logo, cresting a ridge on the top of High Street, that's a mountain in the Lake District, and seeing the breathtaking vista unfold with every step forward, swimming in the sea with my dogs, getting my first £100,000 salary contract. That was a long time ago, but a long held goal at the time. Walking my daughters down the aisle, or being joint best man at my son's wedding. What makes you smile inside? Okay, next. Who, if anyone, would you like to emulate? Particular business person, a sports star, a celebrity, a philanthropist. Who do you admire and respect for what they stand for, their values, their achievements? Might just be a particular trait, their sense of style, their business acumen, their love of life, their joie de vivre. Okay, next, what gets you excited? What would make you throw off the covers and leap out of bed in the morning because you knew you were doing this one thing today? What makes your heart swell with joy because today's the day when you get to do this thing? Playing your favorite sport, an event, meeting someone, making something, going somewhere special, a spa break, a holiday. Next, consider your innate talents. What are you naturally good at? What do you always receive praise for? What are you always recognized for by your peers because you do it so well and it comes so naturally to you? Or maybe you've worked particularly hard to excel at a particular thing. And finally, what could you do all day long and not get bored of doing? And I'm not talking about binge watching a series on Netflix. This one's probably harder than you think, but if you particularly love something, if something really motivates you and you're exceptionally passionate about it, then perhaps it's easier to come up with an answer. Time for another charity special graphic to sum all that up. And in case you hadn't guessed, creating visuals like this is something that I love doing. So putting together support slides for over 30 hours of legacy change program modules really has been a labor of love. After that last exercise, you should have a bit of an indication as to what you love doing and what you're good at. But have you ever considered what the world needs and what you can supply and get paid for? Now, referring back to your vision and your goals, what are you passionate about? What could become your mission in life? What do you perceive as your vocation? What's your current profession and why did you choose that? And if you're not 100% happy where you are currently, then what profession would you like to pursue? What would satisfy you as opposed to leaving you frustrated or unhappy at the end of the day? If you could do anything you wanted to do, what type of work or service would give you a sense of fulfillment and comfort in your life? Remember, you're not a tree. If you're not happy where you are, you can move or change direction. But only you can choose which direction your life will go. In an ideal world, and please understand that you can have that ideal scenario if you want it badly enough. I'm going to show you how. Then when all these elements converge, in the same way that you can define your version of success, so too can you identify your purpose and begin to take steps towards creating and fulfilling it. And when you know what success means to you, and once you've established what your purpose in life is to be, then you have your vision. A reason to do what you do, to be who you want to be, a whole series of goals and dreams, something or things that you're passionate about, something that resonates with your values, that pushes your buttons, that makes you want to leap out of bed in the morning, something that you cannot live without and that you have to do and have in your life. Congratulations, you have your vision. Now, you should develop your vision board. It's a pictorial or graphic representation of your goals designed to inspire and motivate you, to remind you what you're aiming for and keep you focused. And if you don't know how to create and use a vision board, then get in touch and I'll happily explain it and help you with yours. Trust me on this one. It's vital that you have your goals written down. Now, for step 2. You need to become a vibrational match with your vision, to align with it, with every fiber of your being. I'm now going to introduce you to my limited, although significantly researched, knowledge of quantum mechanics and electromagnetic radiation. Hey, A-level physics student here. I feel it's important to give people as complete a picture as I'm able to allow a greater understanding of why my mission statement is so practical. Often people grab a little bit of knowledge here and a bit of information there and make a half-hearted attempt at manifesting their dreams, only for nothing to happen because they don't really understand the right way to do things. Imagine trying to drive a car if you'd only ever read a manual. Chances are you wouldn't get very far or very smoothly. But with practical help and a proficient instructor alongside you, hopefully you will become an expert yourself before long and sail through your test. Eventually, driving will become second nature, a habit whereby you don't even have to think about the process. You just focus on the direction in which you're traveling, avoiding the obstacles and coping with the inevitable diversions along the way. But you may as well get used to how this works in real life and why it works so you can embrace it and incorporate it more readily into your life. I remember when I was taking driving lessons, my instructor said, "Do you smoke?" At the time I did, so he told me to light up because that's how I would be driving in real life. So when I was ready to drive on my own, it was the most natural thing in the world without being a distraction. Practical advice that stood me in good stead, if not slightly unconventional. So how does it work? Remember, I mentioned some laws of the universe. There are actually 12 of them, but I just want to share a couple with you here. You may be familiar with them already, but it's always good to hear them from another perspective. When it comes to aligning with your vision, then the law of vibration is absolutely at the heart of what you need to do. Loads of people believe they know this stuff, but it's no good hearing it and learning about it to the point where you can recite it unless you really understand it and know how to put it into practice. Otherwise, what good will it do you? And the law of vibration, which I'm going to go into a little deeper, is the key to probably the most commonly known law, the law of attraction. We attract to us the things which we think about. But get this, you attract those things only if you're on the same level of vibration as that thing. And just in passing, I wanted to mention this one, the law of polarity. Life is never going to be one continuous easy ride to success. It'll be filled with ups and downs that you'll have to embrace and adapt to. You see, you can't have success without enduring a modicum of failure along the way. The two opposites are yin and yang, and they not only complement each other, they even occupy the same space. Just understand, you can't have an up without a down, or an in without an out, a right without a left, a good without a bad, a back without a front, a hit without a miss. Remember, in all this, it's not what happens to you in life that matters. It's how you handle it that counts. I recall a trip to Ireland to meet some of the top salespeople in the company I was working for at the time. Philip and Mary from Dundalk, a beautiful couple, inside and out. Philip wanted to show off his brand new Mercedes that he'd earned through a company promotion and he'd taken delivery of just a couple of days prior. I was there to recognise him on stage for his achievement, and he proudly took me out for lunch in his spanking new car. It was beautiful. And we'd been driving for 10 minutes on our way to town when a stone flew up from the car in front and broke the windscreen like a bullet hole. I was absolutely gutted for Philip, really devastated. And I looked at him and was amazed at his calmness. Despite my own angst, his comment was simple and hit home so hard that I can almost remember it verbatim. And I should say this in an Irish lilt, but I won't. He said, "Well, I can't do anything about it. It's happened. So worrying about it and getting upset will do no good whatsoever." Wow. What a lesson that taught me. And I'd like to pass on to you today. If he'd worried about that, then it would have affected every action he took as a result and for the rest of the day. His vibration would have spiraled downwards and affected everyone he touched and everything he did that day. And to this day, whenever something bad happens in my life, I strive to react as positively as I can. So to sum up, the concept of yin and yang is that the universe is governed by sets of two opposing and complementing principles or energies. Learn to embrace and accept the negatives, but don't focus on them. Back to vibrations and frequency. Yoda from Star Wars was wrong. Let's call him half right. The Force isn't just with you, it's within you. It's within your powerful mind, your very being. Remember the Wizard of Oz when Dorothy wanted to get home at the end of the film after discovering the wizard was a fraud? Glinda, the good witch, told her she always had the power within her, but she had to discover it for herself. You have to discover this for yourself too. It's all to do with energy. Energy constantly flows to you and through you. In the same way you learn to steer a car, all you have to do is learn to direct it. And in truth, some people have simply learned to channel or direct this energy better than others. This is the crux of everything you need to know when idealizing your perfect life. The Chinese word qi can be defined as life force or energy and has parallels in other cultures, prana in India or ki in Japan. Developing your qi can be a way to heal your body, both physically and mentally, as well as serving as a path to reaching your full potential. Turn that graphic on its side and imagine energy as a spectrum of colours. Each has a different wavelength or frequencies, I've been calling them. The colour is dictated by photons, packets of pure energy that travel at the speed of light. Let's not go there today, I can hear your relief. In short, at the vibrant purple end of the visible spectrum, the photon's frequency is higher, the wavelength shorter, and its energy is higher. Conversely, at the more subdued red end, the photon has a longer wavelength, a lower frequency, and lower energy. Now look at the concept of energy within the body. You may have heard the term chakra. A chakra is an energetic vortex that resides in our body that's responsible for a particular theme in our life. For example, the crown chakra represents spiritual wisdom and empathy, while the root chakra represents family and abundance. The chakras are used as a framework in yoga, as well as a diagnostic tool in Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine. Other health practitioners, including psychotherapists, for instance, have also begun to reference the chakra system as part of their healing modalities in recent years. And finally, emotions or feelings, if you prefer. Different emotions are triggered by physiological, psychological, or behavioral responses. Emotions have a strong influence on our daily lives. We make decisions based on whether we're happy, angry, sad, bored, frustrated. We choose activities and hobbies based on the feelings they incite. We buy things based on how we feel about them emotionally. The art of merchandising in shops has become a science based on studying the emotions of shoppers. In the same way, understanding our own emotions can help us navigate life with greater ease and stability. Consider these three bodies that we all inhabit simultaneously. Our physical body is the easiest to understand. You know how you feel when you're tired or alert, sad or happy. Our emotional body, as we've just covered, directs our behaviors, also influenced by our physical body and our spiritual body. Chi energy moves through the body like breath and blood, nourished by a healthy diet, sleep, and movement. However, its qualities go beyond the physical or tangible. Qi can be described as the purest energy that arises out of consciousness, flowing into you and through you. Qi energy is like a bridge between your form, which is your body, your thoughts, emotions, sensations, and the formless, which is your essence, consciousness, awareness. Chakra and Qi are two potent energy systems that can help you attain spiritual growth, inner balance, and optimal well-being. Understanding their nature and harnessing their power, tapping into the energy, if you like, can be a life-changing experience, unlocking new potential, expanding your consciousness in profound ways. So this is what I mean when I talk about aligning with your vision, whether through meditation, yoga, visualization, or simply thinking it into being and taking action to make it happen. The journey towards greater energetic alignment and harmony can be a rewarding and transformative path to follow. Most importantly, it works and ensures you get what you want. So, what exactly is it that we should be trying to achieve? Well, let's come back to this graphic representing emotion. If we're ultimately aiming for positivity in all that we do, peace, joy, harmony in life, then we need to be aiming towards the top of this scale. It was developed by Dr. David Hawkins during 20 years of research to define a range of values, attitudes, and emotions that correspond to levels of consciousness. From the lower levels of shame, guilt, apathy, fear, and anger, to courage, acceptance, and reason, and right up to the more expanded levels of love and ecstasy, peace and enlightenment. These higher energy fields are a carrier wave of immense life energy. I'll have some of that. Presumably, so too would Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists the world's ever seen. He said this: everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency or vibration of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Everything is in a constant state of vibration. Energy flows around us and through us. We simply have to tap into it and direct it, just like driving a car. And because different energy vibrates at different frequencies, that particular frequency dictates the form of the energy, the shape of the thing, the color, the physical attributes. So if you're aligned with the same energy of the thing you want to have, then you can't help but get the thing that you want. Here's another law, but this one is a law of physics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one state to another. It's called the law of conservation, and it illustrates how the same matter or molecules, or energy if you prefer, can change form by changing their level of vibration. Take a block of ice, add heat, or thermal energy as it's referred to in thermodynamics, and it breaks the bonds between the hydrogen molecules, H2O. Molecules change their level of frequency or vibration and become water. Same composition of molecules, just vibrating at a higher frequency. Add more heat and the water becomes steam. The molecules vibrate so quickly that they evaporate and escape into the atmosphere. Exactly the same molecules, but a higher frequency of vibration. This becomes the basis of the weather cycle, where the sun warms the sea, the water evaporates into the air. The higher it goes, the colder it gets, reverting to water or even ice in the form of snow. We, you and I, are pure energy, as is everything in the world. Different atoms vibrate at different frequencies. You get on the right frequency with what you want to manifest, and behold, it will appear. It has no alternative but to appear, which is why this phrase, mindset is everything, is so critical when following your dreams. Let me give you my personal definition of mindset. Mindset is simply the level of vibration or frequency that you're operating on at a particular time. Let me use another analogy to explain how this crucial concept of vibration or frequency works. Take a radio. You may have a favorite radio or music channel. To get to listen to your favorite music, unless you stream music as blocks of data over the internet, you simply have to tune into the frequency that your favorite radio station broadcasts on. Radio waves are longer, low frequency, low energy waves, but they're always present. The music is permanently there, around us, in us. All you have to do is change your radio frequency to tune into it. Same with a TV or mobile phone. Both use radio waves that are omnipresent. Your device just tunes into the right frequency to select a program or have a conversation. It's exactly the same with your goals and your emotions. You simply have to tune in on the right frequency to receive them. Elevate your vibration to the shorter high energy end of the spectrum. How? change your thinking. Change your thinking and you change your results. Sounds simple, and the concept is, but doing it correctly requires practice, commitment, and persistence. Einstein wasn't the only great scientist to understand the concept of energy and how it works within us. The luminary Nikola Tesla, who also developed early X-ray technology, that's super short wavelength, high energy. In addition to his incredible achievements with electricity, he's quoted as saying, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Gosh. I wish I knew this stuff when I was 16. I've taken quite a long time to get this message across and used a lot of explanatory science, but this is the crux of what I wanted to impart. This is the message that I wanted to hammer home. This is the science, which is the basis of why what I'm sharing works. Everything is energy. I am pure energy. You are pure energy. Let me break this down one final time. What's your body made up of? Answer, tissues and organs. So far, so good. What are tissues and organs made up of? Cells. What are cells comprised? Molecules. What are molecules made up of? Atoms. Atoms, in turn, are made up of subatomic particles. The clue's in the name. Those are the nucleus of the atom, the neutrons, the protons, surrounded by the electrons that whiz around it. It goes smaller still in terms of quarks and neutrinos, etc. And that famous equation E equals mc squared. However, what are these subatomic particles? Energy, pure energy. The image you see here is a photograph of sorts taken using a process called Kirlian photography. I've seen it in practice. It effectively captures the energy of the aura surrounding and emanating from the physical form. You've heard people talk of a person having a particular aura. Well, it can be seen. Remember those secret shifters? Another one of mine is the day I held a primrose flower in my hand in a snowy flower bed and saw this magical pale blue aura around its petals. It's an image that's lodged in my memory forever. But to get back to the point, this energy is controlled by the most powerful force there is, your own mind. That's why this phrase, "we become what we think about," holds so true. It's a phrase attributed to Buddha, but in actual fact, all religions preach the same message. Religions may disagree on many things, and I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. And on this one point, all religious leaders and philosophers of the past agree. In turn, the concept has become widely described as something we've already mentioned, the law of attraction. And thus, we've come full circle. I said earlier that one of the greatest discoveries of this century is that we can change our life by changing the way we think. But here's the rub. Here is what 95% of people who think they understand the law of attraction really don't understand. Your mind will return to you whatever ideas and thoughts you plant within it. Let me explain using another analogy. I do love a good analogy, as I'm sure you has become apparent. Imagine, if you will, that your mind's a fertile garden. In that garden, you can plant seeds, not physical seeds, but mental seeds, thoughts, ideas, goals. And because the mind is so much more powerful, 1,000,000 times more fertile than any garden soil, it will return to you in physical form, whatever you choose to plant. In the same way as you can plant a bulb in soil to grow a daffodil, a seed to sprout corn, an acorn to bring forth a mighty oak tree, or an apple pip to develop into an apple tree, your fertile mind will deliver whatever seed you choose to plant. But take care. In exactly the same way that soil will return whatever you plant, so too will your powerful mind. The soil can't distinguish between an apple pip or an acorn. It will grow trees from both. It will provide exactly the same nutrients to the daffodil bulb which it needs to grow as it will for the seed of corn to sprout, or indeed for a seed of poisonous foxglove or a stinging nettle or deadly nightshade. Food or poison, the soil can't differentiate. Your powerful mind's the same. Plant good, positive thoughts, and with careful nurturing, you'll manifest good, positive things in your life. But if you plant doubt and uncertainty or negative emotions, then you can guess exactly what you'll get in return. We are exactly where we are today as a direct result of what we've thought about in previous years. And that goes all the way back to our childhood, in actual fact. We begin life as a baby with zero preconceived ideas or fear. But from a very early age, our conscious thoughts based on what we see, hear, smell, taste, and feel from people and things around us enter our subconscious mind and begin to mold our future actions as a result. Depending on our reactions and experiences, we form long-term habits and can even suffer long-term self-limiting beliefs and behaviors without even knowing. Even when developing in the womb, a baby can begin to absorb information and feelings like stress, anxiety, or love and a sense of security. So we need to guard our thoughts carefully. We need to learn how to switch from a negative emotion to a positive emotion, a negative frequency to a higher, more positive frequency of vibration. And by the way, that's easier and quicker than you might think if you know how. Here's a magnificent belief that I hold very dear. Everything happens when the time is right. Manifesting results takes time, although admittedly it can be quicker than you might think. Again, if you know how. But ask any nurse. A man quite literally sows his physical seed. That's our bit done. And the mum does all the hard work and provides for the fetus as it matures. 9 months to change its energy and consequently its physical shape to be born as a baby. Every farmer knows there's a time to plant or sow the seed and there's a time to reap the harvest or reward. But you can never do both in the same season. The seed needs time to gestate. An acorn needs time to grow into a mighty oak. Can only grow though if it's nurtured, if it receives water from the rain, sunlight from the sky, and nutrients from the soil. Over time, many years, it will grow into what it was ordained to be. The same is true for your own goals. You have to be aware. You have to nurture your thoughts. You have to tend them daily and not neglect them. Neglect them and they will surely die like a sapling without water. So be sure that when you plant your positive seed, that you raise your vibration, that you expect the seed to grow and develop. Ensure that it's planted in your subconscious mind. If it's only ever in your conscious mind as a fleeting thought or whim, then it's unlikely to happen. Over time, though, in your subconscious, it will become second nature. It will become habit, planted where it's guaranteed to grow. It may not be easy, but it will be worth it. I cover how to ensure your thoughts remain positive so your goals come to fruition elsewhere in the program. So finally, step 3, design your map. What are the practical steps to achieving that vision of yours? Theory is great, but the practical stuff is what counts. A dream is just a dream unless you take action. Let me share just some of the steps that you'll need to follow as you begin to soar through life. And of course, each of these steps and more have a dedicated module in the Legacy Change program. Finding your identity. You may also have heard the term your authentic self. Your identity is what shapes you, makes you who you are. Your identity is a set of physical, mental, emotional, social, and interpersonal characteristics that are unique to you. Your identity gives you your sense of self. It's a set of traits that distinguishes you from other people because while you might have some things in common with others, no one has the exact same combination of traits as you. Just some of the factors that contribute to your identity include physical appearance, emotional traits, education, profession, life experiences, genetics, health, nationality, religious beliefs, political beliefs, spirituality, gender, sexuality, personality, goals. The list goes on and also encapsulates your core personal values, principles, and beliefs about the world. These are traits that money can't buy. They're the very pillars of your character and, by definition, your identity. These are the attributes by which you will be judged. But more importantly, because in reality it doesn't matter what other people think of you, traits by which you will judge yourself. Earlier, I mentioned goals. They also form part of your identity because they represent what you're aiming for in life. How do you set goals? Well, goal setting is an art form. I've been helping people set and attain goals for decades. It's an integral part of your vision, your final destination, your ultimate dream, with lots of smaller goals along the way, which will serve as stepping stones and markers to track your progress. They're all within your grasp. Once you know how to set goals, you'll actually aim for. Goals that you can consistently achieve and be able to measure your progress towards. And remember, goals should be set in concrete, but your plans to achieve them can be made in sand. You should always remain flexible on your path because you won't always be following the right map for you. I've already referred to mindset several times, the ultimate tool at your disposal, but one which requires guidance and learned knowledge to use effectively. Understanding goes deeper than knowledge. There are many people who know you, but I'll wager that there are very few who understand you. The same is true of everything that I cover in this program. It's all in the mind. Discipline your thoughts. Don't wallow in the past. Don't venture into the future. Live in the present. Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you've always believed, you'll continue to act as you've always acted. And you'll continue to get what you've always got. If you want different results in your life or your work or your relationships, all you have to do is change your mind. But you have to choose to change your mind. We've already touched on the law of attraction, the law of vibration, and the law of polarity. We attract to us the things which we think about, but only if we're on the same level of vibration as that thing. And in addition, we must accept and embrace the negatives that exist in life, but be mindful not to focus on them. In total, there are 12 universal laws that we should at least be aware of in order to learn how to use them to our advantage. Visualization is probably practiced by every successful sports star, rock star, film star, business mogul of recent times. Oh, and expect it. With all your heart and soul, expect it. You will be rewarded. There are so many tools at your disposal that will help you, including vision boards and gratitude, tapping, affirmations, meditation, mindfulness. All of these we cover in the program. And of course, the art of manifesting. Manifesting is the idea that through the power of belief, we can effectively think a goal into becoming reality. It's a form of magical thinking where you have to believe and expect that your hopes and desires can influence how the world unfolds for you. Many would suggest that we approach manifesting with a critical eye, but as we've already covered, this is science, not magic. As long as you're specific about what you want to achieve, a specific car, house, holidays, lifestyle, financial position, spiritual position, body shape, partner, the list's as endless as your own dreams and imagination. And a big part of achieving your goals and manifesting your dream life is the management of time. It's the one thing in life that you only have a limited amount of. It is by far your most valuable currency. And when you know how to make maximum use of your time, everything else becomes super simple. If time is your most valuable currency, then surely health is your most valuable asset. Perhaps the one phrase that best defines how central well-being is to human happiness and prosperity was coined over 2,000 years ago by the Roman poet Virgil, when he said, "The greatest wealth is health." Gotta love a bit of Virgil. A-level physics, O-level Latin, grade A. Anyway, I'm not just talking about physical health. Mental health is receiving more and more coverage in the media. More than ever, people are seeking expert advice and support. Even the most unlikely people are susceptible to breakdowns and depression. Did you know someone takes their own life every 40 seconds? In the UK alone, up to 20 people a day commit suicide. These are horrible statistics that speak volumes about the judgmental world we live in. And can I just say here and now, if you personally ever need anyone to talk to, I'm a great listener. My number's below. Just pick up the phone. Even if you don't know me, that may even make it easier. No charge, anytime, please. Okay. One of the biggest contributory factors to poor mental health is stress. The vast majority of people have stress in their lives in one form or another. There's a posh scientific term for the science of getting a grip on stress and ultimately turning things around. It is CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy. It helps people focus on the here and now, live in the moment, engendering mindfulness. It uncovers the relationship between thoughts, behavior, and emotions or feelings, and the actions that follow as a result. Cognitive restructuring is simply changing your thought patterns, your ingrained habits deep in your subconscious, and behavioral interventions. They're big words that just mean changing the way you act and react to situations and triggers. Effectively, you're recognizing and adjusting patterns in your life, recognizing decisions you've made in the past that affect decisions you may make in the future, thoughts and behaviors that dictate your physiology and ultimately your energy, weak emotions that you may not even be aware of that poor decisions from the past may ignite, much to the detriment of what you're trying to achieve now, may I say. You may have heard them referred to as limiting beliefs, and I hope I get the opportunity to share what, in my opinion, is the single most powerful module that I've developed in the Legacy Change program. It's one module that has the power to completely change your actions and the results you're getting in your quest to achieve your goals, indeed, your vision. And if you can't wait and want a quick fix, we've got a solution for that too, with proven practical shortcuts to feeling great physically, mentally, and emotionally. For instance, there are 4 major brain chemicals that affect your mood. You may have heard of them: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Some have short-term benefits, others are much more sustained. Imagine knowing the secrets and shortcuts to making yourself happy. How's that going to affect your life? And just as you need to recognize and understand the patterns of your life, you need a firm grasp of the seasons of your life, because no season lasts forever, and each season has a purpose in your journey. Spring, when new ideas abound, time for growth and optimism. Summer, for testing and challenging yourself and enjoying the development. Autumn, the season for reaping the rewards of your labours. And finally, winter, when you can slow down and recharge your batteries and prepare for new beginnings. Can you work out where you are now? Maybe not as straightforward as you may think. And here's one of my favourite sections, designed to really empower you as an individual. I've taken 4 of the 12 archetypes examined by Freud, which you can personify and call upon at the appropriate time in your life. You can actually embody the spirit of the character and adopt its strengths. The unstoppable warrior who lets nothing get in their way. The adaptable wizard, insightful and transformative, who always sees the big picture and knows how things will pan out. The lover who embodies kindness and empathy towards others, together with a gratitude, kindness, and love for life. And finally, the ruler, the king or queen, the wise, calm, visionary who takes charge of situation. The person that everyone goes to when they want to get something done right. Learn to call upon them and embrace them at life's crossroads, and you'll find incredible strength in their virtues. I know it's only supposed to be 3 steps, but I also wanted to throw this last bonus step into the mix. Having designed your map, your route planner, now you have to put it to use and begin to follow it. The illustration here is an old map of London, because I recall aged 11 planning a 2-week trip around the UK by car with my mum and dad. And planning the London leg was a bit daunting, to say the least. My dad had planned the route in an old RAC road atlas, and it was my job to shout the directions as we headed for what were then the Twin Towers of Wembley Stadium. And the journey to achieving your vision is exactly the same. You decided on your destination. You've got everything ready for the journey. You've planned your route, and now you're ready to set off. You finally have to get started to take action. You see, life is going to go on with or without you. It's true for all of us. We can't stop that, but you do have a choice of where you go, how you live your life. And we can make those choices at any time. We can make the choice to change, to take control of this one life that we get, our life, your life. And when's the best time to make that choice, to choose change? You've got it now. That ability to choose is innate within all of us. When we decide to make choices about our life, then that is the moment when we start to take control. We start to make decisions about the direction that our life will take. In one of my short 2-minute videos on my website, I paraphrased the great Jim Rohn. The same wind blows upon us all. The wind of disaster, of opportunity, of change. The political wind, the economic wind, the wind of fortune. So it's not the wind that will dictate our course and direction in life, but how we set our sails. You have the same choices to take control as the next person. You are completely in charge of your own life and the direction that it takes. You can lift a burden from your shoulders immediately by making the decision to cast off the metaphorical chains that are holding you back from doing what you really want to do, the things that are important to you, the things that you've always wanted to do. I've got 2 A1 framed vision motivational pictures in front of me here on my office wall. I just pasted loads of stuff on them, things that matter to me, and one of them says, one day you will wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted. Do it now. It's just above the one that says time. Once it's spent, it's gone forever. 30 years ago, I was the marketing controller for a company called Clean Easy. As a team over 3 years, we took that 75-year-old company, which was stuck in reverse, from 23 million to 65 million. The MD, my boss and mentor at the time, one of the original dragons on Dragon's Den, had a screensaver on his computer that read, "If it is to be, it's up to me." And that's exactly how you need to approach your life. By all means, get help and support. Even the very best athletes and business moguls have coaches, but take charge. Be yourself and do what your heart yearns to do. There are no limits to your imagination. Again, to quote someone else, this time Napoleon Hill, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. You are confined only by the walls you build for yourself. That's another quote up there on my wall. Break those confining walls down, change your thinking, raise your emotions, take more effective action, and do it over and over again. With repetition, it will quickly become a habit and you'll see the benefits and rewards. And why do I say quickly? Well, this is your life, your story. You write it however you see fit, but no one else is going to do it for you. And it's not about trying harder. I recall How a terrific short book, You Squared by Price Pritchard, begins with the story of a fly. The author's watching a life and death struggle as the fly repeatedly bangs against against a window in a desperate bid to escape. The harder it tried, the harder it hit the window, time and time again, in a battle that was only ever going to lead to the demise of the fly. Yet, if it had only flown 20 feet across the room to the open door, then it would have lived to fight another day. If it had just changed its thinking and chosen a different direction. Moving forward in your life may not be about trying harder. In fact, if you're following the wrong map, then it could even ultimately be your demise. If what you're doing isn't working for you, leave. Find another route. Remember, goals in concrete, plans in sand. And don't think for a moment that things have to happen in a planned and orderly fashion. It's exactly what that book's about taking a quantum leap, making a rapid and unexpected advance, a leap of faith, a leap into the unknown. You'll be surprised just how quickly things happen once you've decided to make things happen and you're taking action. I have another phrase, this time on a Pinterest board. Don't be surprised at how quickly the universe moves once you've decided. And why shouldn't it? Everything is energy, and you're simply raising your vibration to match the energy of the thing you want. Personal power is all about choices. Remember, making choices means taking control. We make decisions every day of our life, literally thousands of them. So here are some fundamental reminders to keep you on track. Understand the concept that we are all energy, and energy is all around us. Our thoughts affect what we become and what we have. Accept that you can't change the past, but you can learn from it. Be aware of your ability and know you have it within you to be whoever you want and have anything you want to have. Believe in your choices and believe in yourself. You got this. And finally, action. Nothing happens without you taking action to make it happen. Action begins with your vision. Yes. Build that picture. Repeat it over and over. Live as if you already have it, and it will happen for you. But you must take action. You must do something different. You must move out of your comfort zone. No matter how much you visualize your dreams coming true, however much you pray and practice your manifestation techniques or imagine that great things are coming to you, change in any area of your life will only take place through action. And that's about it for this introductory video. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, teachers open the door, but you must enter by yourself. Another one is that great teachers will show you where to look, but not what to see. That's what I endeavor to do and can do for you. If you choose to go on this journey to your new life with me, or even just part of it, then I'll be with you to guide and support you every step of the way. If you want to develop a relationship and become a client, then don't expect me to just run through the program and leave you to it. I'll be there for you whenever you need a coach, a guide, a mentor, a friend, a colleague, or just someone to listen to you. And that's for life. That's my promise to you. My company's called Legacy Change for a number of reasons, but primarily because our lives will become our legacy. And most of us need to change something about our lives to make that legacy worthwhile. Here's another quote I've learned. If you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. I love that quote. I also love the suggestion that we become the sum of the collective consciousness of the people we are with. In other words, we should mix with people who may be smarter than ourselves. So I'm surrounding myself with people from whom I can learn, and importantly, who feel they can help others. I'm doing this on a private and safe Facebook group called Choose to Change. So please feel free to join us. Take a look around and see if you can add something or even take something away. Either's good. There's even an opportunity to partner with me on my own journey to helping others. And before I go, you may or may not have seen this before, but I want to leave you with a quick but powerful exercise. Think about 3 people who you love: partner, spouse, children, parents, siblings, best friend. Got them? I bet you didn't say yourself. And don't misunderstand me. I understand the love we all hold for our family and the sacrifices we'd be prepared to make for them. But bear this in mind. If you're not in the right state of mind, in the best of health, in a happy place, if you're not looking after yourself, loving yourself, then you're never going to be able to give them the support and love that they deserve. Thanks for spending this time with me. It's a humbling experience to have someone listen to what you have to say, especially if you're on the verge of making a potentially life-changing decision. If you fancy a confidential, completely free discovery call, drop me an email at shaun@legacychange.co.uk or complete the contact form on my website, legacychange.co.uk. Promise, we don't need to mention physics or Latin ever again, unless of course you want to. I hope you found the last hour useful. I thank you very much for your time again, and I look forward to meeting you.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.